Those blue check marks on social media have authenticated high-profile accounts for years. But if you have one, you might be forced to cough up the cash to keep it. Free verification now becoming a thing of the past as Meta follows Twitter's lead, launching its own paid verification service. Hedge fund manager and host of the Drill Down podcast, Corey Johnson, joins us live. Thanks for being here, Corey. First question, basic question, is this paid verification worth the money?
Well, I think it probably is for Facebook, or I should say for Meta, which is, of course, owns WhatsApp, which is not affected here, but Facebook and Instagram, those giant businesses that have 2 billion users every day. It's an incredible amount of people. And I think that one of the things that Facebook is worried about, that Meta is worried about, is not just the revenues that could come from this, and there could be a lot. We can talk about that in a minute. But I think they're really worried that people want to be able to trust that what they're seeing is from whom they think they're getting it, and they can actually believe the information online. It's central to the problems with online social media.
All right, so Corey, how is this new pay service different from the old verification and authentication process that was or is currently taking place?
Well, the biggest difference, obviously, is the cost. They're trying to make this into a revenue center for Meta, and it could be an enormous thing. Again, with 2 billion users, if they get 1% of their users to use this business, that would generate over $200 million in annual revenues, and then some, even after the cost. But I think more to the point here, what they're looking at is a way to sort of charge enough money to get people to pay for it. They're just dipping their toe into this. They're trying it outside of the U.S., in markets like Australia. They are trying this without businesses, which are probably the most likely to pay for that kind of verification. But eventually, I think what you might see is a big revenue business for Meta, for Facebook and Instagram users, but also I think people wanting to actually prove that they are who they are, not fancy people that don't have the verification on Instagram like me, or fancy people, Nichole, like you, who do have the verification. The difference is people are going to have to pay for it, and it's a little more rigorous process than it has been in the past.
Well, let me tell you, Corey, I do have a check mark. I'm not happy about having to potentially pay for this. What kind of revenue are we potentially talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to imagine how many people are going to pay for this, right? But if you figure something like 1 out of 1,000 Facebook users daily would pay for this, this could quickly add up to $50 million or more in annual revenues for Facebook, Meta, Instagram, if they do that for all their properties, and that many people sign up for it. I think it's more likely to look at this as a way for this company to verify with less cost, right? Some of those costs, some of that money being spent will go to pay for everyone else who's getting the verification. But ultimately, what they want is they want people to trust their product, which has been a big problem, as we saw, particularly in elections around the world, where we saw people using the social media platforms of, worst of all, Twitter, but certainly Facebook and also Instagram, to try to influence with money these elections with fake messages, trying to get people riled up about things that weren't really happening and things maybe they didn't need to worry about.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll certainly see what happens. Corey Johnson, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.